Karma, what shapes our choices? In the previous episode, we noticed something important. Awareness creates a small space before action. In that space, the next response is not completely automatic. And this brings a deeper question. If action is not fixed, what actually shapes our choices? Why do we respond in one way and not in another? Is it a conscious decision, or does something else quietly influence what we choose? To understand this, we need to slow down and observe very carefully. Before any action, there is always a subtle movement within. A thought appears, a feeling arises, a tendency begins to move. And from this moment, a choice slowly takes shape. At first, this may seem simple and direct, but when we observe more closely, something interesting becomes visible. Choices do not appear randomly, they follow a certain direction, and that direction is often influenced by what we have experienced before. Past patterns do not disappear, they quietly remain in the background. And in similar situations, they begin to influence how we respond again. For example, a familiar situation appears once more. A similar thought arises, a known feeling returns again. And almost naturally, a familiar choice starts forming within. This is how patterns continue through the choices we make. But patterns are not the only influence. What we are thinking in that moment also shapes the direction. A single thought can change how we see a situation, and how we see a situation influences what we choose. In the same way, what we are feeling also plays a role. A calm state may lead to one kind of action. A disturbed state may lead to a very different action. So, choice is not just a simple decision. It is shaped by patterns, thoughts, and feelings together. And within all this, there is one more important factor. That factor is awareness. Awareness does not force a choice, it does not push anything. It simply brings clarity to what is happening. The pattern becomes visible, the thought is seen. The feeling is also noticed as it begins to arise, and when all this is seen clearly, something starts to change. The choice is no longer completely automatic. There is now a moment of seeing before acting. In that moment, the direction of action is no longer fully fixed, it becomes open. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but in a subtle and quiet way. And these small shifts begin to influence how we act over time. So, choices are not fixed, They are shaped by influences and can change with awareness. This is where understanding karma deepens, not just in action but in the moment of choosing. At this point, something becomes clearer. Choice is not just a single moment, it is a moment that unfolds step by step within us. It often begins with a thought, then influenced by a feeling, and slowly takes direction through our attention. When we are not aware, this moment follows what is already familiar and repeated. But when awareness is present, this entire moment can be seen as it is happening. And when it is seen clearly, there is a chance for the direction to shift slightly, not by forcing a change, but by not continuing the same pattern without noticing. This is where choice becomes more clear and less automatic in nature. It is no longer just a quick reaction, it becomes a more aware response. And this small difference begins to influence how we act over time. So, what shapes our choices also begins shaping the direction of our life. In your daily life, can you notice what influences your choices? In the next episode, if choices are shaped like this, what strengthens a particular pattern?